In 1969, an iconic moment changed the trajectory of human history. The world watched in awe as American astronaut Neil Armstrong took those first steps on the moon, declaring that it was one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. The Apollo missions were more than just technological feats. They were a symbol of human ambition, of what could be achieved when nations pushed the limits of science, engineering, and human potential. The moon, once a distant dream, was now within reach. But after that brief moment of triumph, humanity's gaze turned elsewhere. Space exploration, once seen as the next great frontier, slowed. The moon was left behind as new priorities emerged on Earth. Fast forward to today, and the moon is once again calling us back. This time, the race is not just between two superpowers, the United States and Russia. It's a new era, and the competition now includes a rising spacefaring nation, China. The stage is set for a new space race, one that will not just see nations reach the moon again, but this time establish permanent footholds there. A race for power, influence, resources, and the future of human space exploration. Enter the Artemis program. Named after the Greek goddess of the moon, Artemis represents NASA's bold return to lunar exploration. But this time, the goal isn't just to land on the moon, it's to stay. Artemis has a vision that's far more ambitious: to build a sustainable, long-term human presence on the moon, a presence that will help us prepare for even more daring missions to Mars. The first goal of Artemis is to land the first woman and the next man on the lunar surface by 2024. A symbolic mission, yes, but one that reflects NASA's commitment to inclusivity and scientific progress. It's not just about the destination, but about the crew that will make history. These astronauts will face the harsh conditions of the lunar environment: extreme temperatures, radiation, and isolation. The lessons learned here will be the bedrock upon which future deep space missions will be built. To achieve this, NASA is building the Space Launch System, SLS, the most powerful rocket ever constructed. Paired with the Orion spacecraft, which will carry astronauts to the moon and beyond, this will be the backbone of the Artemis missions. The SLS will be capable of carrying heavier payloads into deep space, while Orion will serve as the spacecraft that astronauts will use for their journey to the moon. This is no ordinary mission. Artemis aims to revolutionize space travel and exploration, to pave the way for humanity's expansion into the cosmos. But the Artemis program isn't just about sending humans to the moon. It's about creating the infrastructure necessary for a permanent lunar presence. The Gateway, an orbiting space station, will be positioned around the moon to serve as a transit hub for astronauts traveling to the lunar surface. Meanwhile, lunar bases will become testing grounds for resource extraction and sustainability. Water ice, which can be found in the moon's permanently shadowed regions, will be crucial for life support and fuel production, helping make space travel more sustainable for the long term. The next logical step, Mars. Meanwhile, thousands of miles to the east, China's ambitions in space are rapidly growing. In a relatively short period, China has transformed itself into a major player in space exploration. Its space agency, the China National Space Administration, CNSA, has launched a series of successful missions, most notably the Chang'e Lunar Program, named after the Chinese moon goddess. China's Chang'e missions have been a showcase of innovation and determination. In 2019, China made history when it became the first nation to land a spacecraft on the far side of the moon, a monumental achievement that not only showcased China's advanced technology, but also placed it in a league of its own. The mission was a milestone that no other country had achieved, a testament to China's growing space capabilities. In 2020, China further cemented its position with the Chang'e 5 mission, which successfully returned lunar samples to Earth, the first mission to do so since the Apollo program. This represented another giant leap in lunar exploration, demonstrating China's ability to conduct complex, high-risk missions. And with plans for Chang'e 6 and beyond, it's clear that China's lunar ambitions are just beginning. China is also investing heavily in long-term lunar infrastructure. The Chang'e 6 mission, which aims to bring back additional lunar samples, is part of a broader vision for a permanent Chinese presence on the moon. China has already expressed interest in establishing a lunar research station, potentially in collaboration with Russia, and the country's space program is already eyeing Mars as its next major target. But the moon is more than just a scientific endeavor. It's a new frontier in the geopolitical struggle between the United States and China, and increasingly, Russia. Just as the Cold War space race between the US and the Soviet Union symbolized global dominance, today's race to the moon has taken on broader significance. Space is no longer just about exploration. It's about power, influence, and prestige on the world stage. China has been aggressively expanding its space program, and its accomplishments on the moon, Mars, and in low Earth orbit suggest that its ambitions are far from over. For China, the moon represents not just scientific opportunity, but strategic leverage in a rapidly changing global order. The ability to claim resources from the moon, including precious metals and water, could have profound implications for global energy, technology, and economics. For the US, space has long been a symbol of its technological and geopolitical leadership. NASA's Artemis program isn't just about returning to the moon. It's about reclaiming the mantle of space exploration and ensuring that the US remains the global leader in space technology and exploration. But with China's rising space capabilities, the competition for leadership in space is fiercer than ever. The moon is no longer just a symbol of human curiosity. It's now a critical asset, a place where future technologies will be tested and where humanity's long-term survival may depend on successful resource extraction. The discovery of water ice at the moon's poles is a game-changer. Not only does it provide the potential for sustainable human presence, but it could also serve as a source of hydrogen and oxygen for rocket fuel, opening up possibilities for deeper space exploration, including manned missions to Mars. China has already shown its interest in utilizing the moon for its vast resources. Just like Earth, the moon has rare minerals, metals, and materials that could be critical for future technology on Earth. China's long-term goal is to create a lunar base that would serve as a platform for mining, scientific research, and testing new technologies, all while further solidifying its position as a space superpower. But the moon is not just a tool for individual nations. With space becoming a more global enterprise, there's potential for cooperation, as well as competition, in the near future. The US and China, with their rapidly evolving space programs, will likely find themselves negotiating agreements on lunar resources, scientific exploration, and infrastructure. The future of lunar exploration is not just a race between nations. It's about setting the tone for how humanity will cooperate or compete in the vastness of space. While geopolitical rivalry can drive innovation, it can also sow division. The challenges of living on the moon are immense, and international collaboration could help to overcome them. But there's also the possibility that competition for lunar resources and prestige could lead to tensions, just as we've seen on Earth. Space exploration holds the potential to unite humanity in ways we've never seen before. But as the US and China continue to advance their space programs, we must ask, will the next great era of space exploration be defined by cooperation, or will it lead to a new kind of space race? One where national interests outweigh collective progress?